Welcome to another edition of Talk Your Exposure. And today we have a very special one. We have a couple Canadian legends in the building. But before we get to introduce our guests, we want to remind everybody to tune in to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play under Talk Your Exposure. Or if you want to check out our faces and see how we look, you can check us out under RWA Basketball on YouTube. Chris, what's going on, my man?
Not bad, not bad. It's another start to a beautiful day. You know how it is. I'm always happy to get up. And you're not looking so bad today, so that helps.
Oh my God, here we go. You want to start with the banter quickly. You don't waste any beats, huh?
No, listen. Sometimes you're not a good person looking in the morning, but today you're looking all right. Looking acceptable.
I'm choosing peace today, not violence. Clearly, you're choosing violence. It's all good though. It's all good. But our guests of today, like I mentioned earlier, are two Canadian legends. We got Rohan and Elijah Fisher in the building. Thank you guys so much for taking some time to talk to us today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, for sure.
Thank you.
Hey, before we want to start off the show today with a little game called In a Perfect World. Rohan, we want to ask you though first. In a perfect world, did you want a daughter?
Actually, that question I got all boys. I did.
Yeah. So when you had all boys, was the part of you was like, obviously it's a blessing, but the part of you was like, here we go again, or was it like, it's cool?
No, I was definitely cheese.
Daughters take care of fathers.
Results? Man, come on, man.
Gotta love it. Hey, Elijah, in a perfect world, would you rather go up against Kobe or LeBron?
I'll say LeBron.
Why is that?
Because there's little mental things I can ask him in the game just to learn throughout just being a better player and being a better leader.
No, for sure. I like that one. Rohan, in a perfect world, if you could manage any NBA team, which team would you? Any current NBA team, which team would you want to manage? Got you guys thinking this morning.
Hey, I love my Raptors, man. I'm a diehard Raptors fan. I was here from the get-go for the building of it.
Mm-hmm.
I said the Raptors, man. I'm a hometown guy, man.
Love it. Last one we got for you guys on the game. But Elijah, in a perfect world, both you and Zayden are hot. You guys are down to the ball where you guys have possession. Are you giving the ball to Zayden, or are you taking that for yourself?
For me personally, if we're both hot throughout the game, I'm confident within my skill set in my game, so I'm going to go take a shot. No disrespect to Zay.
I love that answer. I was hoping you were going to say that too. Rohan, for you, to start off the show, you guys are a family of 8. What is the toughest thing you had to experience as a father?
And damn grocery bills. Grocery bills more than my mortgage. It's crazy.
You're grown boys, right? I believe.
I'm about to say,
let's set up a GoFundMe page.
Hey, for everyone tuning into this episode, we gotta set up a GoFundMe page for the fellas over here, man. For the Fisher family, we need help. Got you guys.
Need my house.
Curious to know how does your wife Talia, right? I feel like I'm saying it correct.
Yeah, you got it right.
How does your wife Talia feel living in a household full of boys?
Well, you got to ask her how she feels, but I'm going to tell you how she should feel. She should feel very protected because she got all these men around her that, it's all protection, man. Because, when you have a daughter is for the guys, man. You have your daddy's girls, but when you have boys are all for mama's boys. So she got lots of love, man. So she should be feeling blessed right now.
Elijah, I'm curious to know though, for you, being the oldest in the family, how does that feel?
I'm second oldest. I got an older brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was some things that he was able to teach you?
My older brother just taught me how to be tough, like whether we were on the court playing basketball and I fouled him too hard, he body slammed me to the floor, we fighting him to. He just taught me how to be tough and just have a tough mentality. Just go through things even though things aren't working your way.
Well, that's definitely work because I've definitely seen you catch a lot of bodies, man. You definitely dunked on some people a few times, especially at the Jane Finch Classic when I've been able to. You played against us this past summer as well, so I mean it was definitely nice to be able to see you there do the same thing. But I want to know though, being a top-ranked basketball player in the world, how is that being able to impact in your family to be a role model?
Well, it's just showing all my little brothers that you can do whatever you want if you put your mind to it and just dedicate yourself. Even though like things aren't going your way in the beginning, you don't want to wake up in the morning and go work out. You don't want to get up out of your bed. You don't want to stretch. You don't want to go to the weight room. You don't want to go run around the track. Just showing them that all hard work pays off.
Love it.
So, I have a question for you. So, Ron, we know you used to play hoops, right? So, when did you stop playing Elijah one-on-one? Are you still playing?
When I was 10 years old, that's when he stopped playing me.
That's when you stopped.
That's when he stopped playing me.
Big cap. I stopped playing him because he started crying.
No.
You never
He kept on losing.
I never lose a game to him. If I have to kick, scratch, bite, punch, whatever, he's not beating me. He's a war out there, and I'm not letting him beat me.
I like that. Okay.
He's never beaten me. Yes, he's never beaten me.
Never beaten me.
Don't make him lie to you. He knows. He knows deep down in his heart. That's why he doesn't play me no more.
I see the looks.
I'll expose you. Don't play. I know everything about you. I'll expose you.
We might have an exclusive coming up. We might have an exclusive one-on-one father-son battle.
It'd be like a Royal Rumble. I'm gonna hurt the kid.
Well, when you were growing up, Rohan, what are the sports you used to play?
Well, when I first came to Canada back in '89, I was going to say I'm old, but the sports of choice was soccer and cricket. But when I came to Canada here, I realized that, it's more hockey, baseball, basketball wasn't the thing, but basketball was coming, but basketball was a natural thing that I gravitated to, just because of the folks that I hung around with. But growing up was definitely soccer and cricket.
Okay, of course. Very familiar with that. What's one of your personal sports moments in life, like playing? Your personal, like when you playing.
Just me playing?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I used to ball for George Vanney.
Mm-hmm.
And when I got there, they didn't have a program because of the incident with Flemo. Not quite sure if you guys know about the bench incident where the coach got a bench his head.
Yeah.
We didn't know the act right back then. So I had to petition to get basketball back at Vanney. And we had to go obviously through a little rebuilding stage. But my moments at Vanney and playing in various tournaments, playing some of the top guys that I see that are out there right now, was definitely a good experience for me. That's one thing that's kind of resonates in my mind.
So I'm gonna put a twist to this. So Elijah, as a guy, as a father, I'm always talking. Actually, as an adult, I coach as well. I'm always having these stories. I'm always telling a story back in days story. What story does your dad always tell you? Because and you always hear it. And man, he gives you a hey, back in my days, and tells you a story. What's the story that your dad always tells you?
Foolishness, bro. Back in my days, I used to jump higher than you, this and that. I used to be in better shape than you. If I was able to play you now, but when I was back in my prime, I would bust your ass. Just stop. It's not realistic.
Hey, you know why it's not realistic to him? It's not realistic to him because he didn't live it. I lived that time and I'm seeing them right now. So I lived both times. He just lived in one time. So he don't understand what it was back then. And when I tell him certain things, I ain't making it up, man. Hey, the streets be talking, man. You ask the fellows that lived that time that actually got to see me play, and they'll tell you.
There's not enough video back then. That was the problem. We
didn't have videos back then. We had like the big VHS. Anybody use no VHS right now?
The big old cameras.
Yeah.
That's true. So Elijah, when did you get into playing basketball, honestly?
I've always been into basketball, like even when I was younger. Like I used to grow up into it. Like my older bro used to play it. I used to go to my pop's men's league game when I was like 2 years old, running on the court and things. So like I was always involved in it. I really started taking it serious when I was like 8 or 9, when my older bro was going to practice and this coach saw me and he didn't see me personally, he saw my younger brother Isaiah and asked how old he was. And then my pop said, no, he's the wrong age, and he pointed to me and the coach was just surprised on my height and things. And then he brought me to the gym, started shooting, and then he just brought me along, and then that's when I really started loving basketball and really taking it serious.
I like that. So you're definitely the halftime between games. You're that kid, the basketball taking shots on the hoop.
halftime during game days, have to grab me off the court, tell me to sit down.
Man, I had to take this kid out. This kid used to come out of his stroller and his diaper on the corner. I had to kind of just take him off in his diaper, pick him up and put him in his stroller. He wouldn't stay in his stroller, man.
Okay. Now so he was jumping at the stroller. Now he's jumping at the gym. Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a great analogy.
It makes sense. So, you know, I want to ask, why did you choose number 22 as your jersey number?
Everything around my life just evolved around it. I was born in 2004. Birthday is January the 3rd. So no, the third day in the first month that equals 4. And then I couldn't have the jersey number 4, so I put 2 and 2 together, and then it's 22. And then I started playing basketball in grade 4 seriously. So then 2 and 2 made 4.
I like that. Okay, that goes together. I like that. Okay, I like that. For the people, they now know that. Steven.
You've been ranked number 1 for quite some time, you know, throughout your elementary career or elementary life, 13, 14, 15 years old. I think even now you're still ranked number 1. What was the pressure like being or living up to your hype as a young kid? Not even a teenager, but as a young kid.
I personally say it wasn't pressure to me. I found it fun. Like, it was a new challenge to attack, a new height to come over. Like, when people used to say, "Oh, that's Rohan Fisher," or "I'm gonna bust his ass, I'm gonna do this and that." I just find it fun. I just find it funny that I still have like a chip on my shoulder as many people are hunting me, and I just do my thing.
Nice. In middle school, you know, you attend Crestwood. You're playing on the varsity senior team or varsity senior prep team. What was that experience like for you, being the youngest on the team, still competing with some great basketball players who eventually went on to go play Division I? Talk to us about your experience being a rookie or a freshman playing with those older guys.
I'm playing with all of them at a younger age. It just helped me with my game even more, because back then, like, I didn't really play to go like score. Like, they used to put me in and say, "Go guard the best player because Jacoby's tired or someone's tired and they need a breather." So I'll just go out, play defense, do what I need to do. And then I was able to build trust within my first year. And then they put me in to starting the game as guarding the best player throughout the game. So like, it was just a great learning experience for me, just showing that the little things matter. Doesn't matter how old you are and what your position is. If you play hard and play defense, you're forced to get playing time.
First time I got to see you play was you were in grade 8 or grade 9. You're at the Humber Classic or whatever it's called with Crestwood. Jacoby was on your team. There was a couple of people on the team. I can't remember their names right now. And I looked at you and I watched you play, and I was very, very, very impressed with how fundamental you were and how much of how communicative you were at that age. You're talking, you're communicating, you're pointing, you're being a good teammate, and not many people at your age or at that age, 13, 14, 15 years old, even want to be a leader whatsoever. They expect the higher people, you know, the seniors, to be that leader. What was it like? I guess this kind of comes back to being in a family of 6 or 8 altogether, but 6 brothers. What is it like, or how easy is being a leader to you?
Well, being a leader to me is just, it's always been there. Like, it didn't matter, like, if I was in the house, just telling my brothers, "Yo, help clean up the house, hey, behave, stop doing this and that," or even if I'm on the court. I just find it like, it's always been me, like, since I was born. It's always been me to be active and talk and let people know, like, if they're doing something wrong, like, inform them just to help and just communicate to help one another.
Fair enough. What was one of your most memorable dunk-ons throughout your basketball career?
So a lot of them, probably the most memorable one was probably on Shaden.
Ooh, I gotta go back and find that clip. I'll go back and find that. Was that in practice or was that in the game?
Biosteel game.
I might have to link up with one of you guys and get that clip. I might have to post that one to remind people that, you know, Shaden can't guard you.
Don't do that.
Rohan, as a father, though, you know, how do you feel the pressure of your son being one of the most sought out players in North America?
You know, with everything that you do, you got to do it with a little bit of humbleness. And I've always tried to teach him to be humble. So in teaching him to be humble, we got to be humble ourselves too. One thing I've always said to him is that, you know, basketball don't pay the bills. And he probably laugh when I say that, because it's the truth. It's a journey that you're going through. And yes, folks may look at you as something out there, but when you're in the house here, you're Elijah, you're my son. Someone to treat you as such. So the way that we deal with it, we deal with just regular, man. It's like, he's my son. I want him to understand that comes first. and everything else will come after. I just want to grow him up to be the best man possible. But dealing with it it's easy, man, because I got other boys that I gotta deal with in the house here. So Elijah's just one of the boys, so dealing with it's quite easy for me.
I got one question. One question for you before Chris takes over. But my question is the one that's I forgot the one in grade 6 right now. He walked in the gym the other day, and I'm looking at him. I'm like, this kid is a freaking monster. First of all, how tall is he, and how tall do you think he's gonna be by the time he gets to grade 12 or grade 11 or grade 10?
It's hard to predict future height as to what a kid's gonna be. I mean, the doctors do have the growth charts that kind of give you a level of predictability as to how tall a kid could be. Right now, he's about 6'4.5".
Mm-hmm. 6'4".
The claim based off you go by the growth chart, he's probably going to end up being about 6'10". But I mean, for me, whatever height he is, I just want him to be the best him that he could possibly be, and kind of learn a few things from his older brothers, see what his older brothers been through, and adapt certain things that you like to your game, and just be you.
Fair enough.
So, back to Elijah for a second. You start playing at grassroots at a very young age. Can you go into that experience? What was that like?
Well, I started playing when I was grade 5, grade 6. It was a different experience. It wasn't what I was used to. Like, I was used to just playing OBA, not really traveling. If I did travel to America, it was for like a little 1 or 2 tournaments, and then I really started going down there, and like it was like every other weekend we're going down to the States playing new competition, and then that really showed me that playing a year up wasn't really just it. Because then I was able to play 3 years up, 4 years up, playing 17s when I was in like grade 7. I was like, wow, just a different experience of playing against different high level players and just really working on all my skills and sharpening my iron against different people.
Nice. So you played at you obviously participated in a couple of gauntlets. How's that experience? Like, do you have a story that you want to talk about, like maybe your first experience or a highlight experience, or someone that you played competition head to head that you want to highlight, like that made you say, okay, I'm somebody. This is something. This is different. This is new.
Well, I wouldn't say there's a specific player, but like there's a lot of experiences. Like I think I was like grade 7, and I was playing up on the 16s and 17s, and like my first time down there, like I was like, what am I doing down here? Like, I'm not even the right age, none of that. But then I came, and then like started going through the motions of the game, and then my coach brought me aside and he just told me what I need to do. So then I started hooping, and then I really got into the game, and then I started doing my thing. Then that became one of the biggest pieces on the team. And then like every time we started going down for God, like, yo, we need Elijah. We need to bring Elijah. Do whatever we need to do to bring him. So that's probably one of my biggest experiences.
And it's kept them building that confidence. I like that. This past summer, your time at grassroots kind of ended. Can you discuss on what kind of happened there?
We got to give credit to Ro Russell for what he's done with the throughout his journey. But there's nothing wrong with a kid outgrowing a coach or growing a program and wanting to kind of move on. As a matter of fact, that coach should actually look at him as a blessing that you've given this kid here all that you could possibly give him. So that's a blessing in itself that they need to look at. There's a beauty in that side here. Elijah just outgrew the coach's voice. He outgrew his voice. Needed to hear a different voice, and plus it's difficult. You can't have a coach coaching you from your grade 6 up. You're hearing the same voice. You tend to tune it out. But the competitor that Elijah is, he wants to be held accountable, and he just felt that he wasn't being held accountable for certain things like practices. If he's taking a playoff in practice, he wants to be held accountable, and it's just a different mindset that he had. That you got to find a coach that aligns with that mindset there, and you got to make moves when moves need to be made, because at the end of the day, it's about a kid's journey, and you can't look at it and say, okay, well, I like this program here, I like that person here, so I'm gonna keep that kid with that person because I like. It's not about like, it's about doing the right thing and what's right for the kid. So we operate in the lens of looking at what's the right thing to do. And I mean, folks may be in their feelings about it, but it's not about the folks around. It's about the kid and his journey. And oftentimes we make it too much about other folks as opposed to the kid that's going through the journey. And for me, I'm just never going to make any program or person, anybody take the light or the shine of my kid. I'm going to make my kid what's for my kids, for my kid. And it's a decision that needs to be made. I'm going to make it because of the parent. And I'm supposed to be more mature, and I'm supposed to be able to make those tough decisions. So we got together and we made the decision that, we're going to go and do our thing. And that's just so that kind of went. And we're just doing it, putting them first.
Good. It's nice that when parents get involved and they show some wisdom and have a good discussion around it. And I know that you guys are really family oriented over there, so I know it was a good discussion, and everyone came to the right page of doing that. So that's good to hear. Very good. I'm hopefully we're going to highlight that more. That needs to happen a lot more between seeing kids be in the right position in the right spot, and they grow, not just not for this present, but to actually grow and be more mature as a player and as a human being. So I agree with that. That being said, how important is education in your family? I know.
Oh, education is really important, man. I feel like my wife was here. My wife would really show you that side. There's a lot of things, there's so many things that happens along the sides that a lot of people don't necessarily get to see. They don't see the conversations when Elijah's at Crestwood, and, teacher may have made messages and said, Elijah didn't complete this assignment on time here or whatnot. And my wife be calling the coach and said, he's not playing. A lot of games that he's missed because his marks wasn't up to par, or a teacher may have sent an email home regarding his grades. So I'd say education is very, very extremely important, and more so than basketball. It's because they call student athletes for a reason, because student piece comes first. And you got to look at it that, basketball is a gift. But your education, man, you got to use basketball as a tool to get you that education. That education is something that nobody can take from you. Basketball may come in as a small window, but your education, that's something that's going to last forever with you, man. So I want for my kid to be smart, even if it's basketball, that God so blessed us along that path there that he can make very, very educated decisions. But also when basketball is ended, I wanted to be able to be smart enough to know that he could go in the business world and kind of survive and do his thing. So I'll tell you, education is strong, even it's a pillar here.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yep. Being a student athlete is pretty tough. So, and I can put this back to Elijah. So being a student athlete, how do you approach your schoolwork? Do you approach the schoolwork like how you approach a basketball game, or you trying to get there like two different styles, or it's kind of similar?
Oh, well, I just approach schoolwork like just hurry up, get it done with so I can go chill. That's a good
answer. I love it.
Throw on my AirPods, put my phone on Do Not Disturb, finish all my work, read over it, make sure it's good, and then send it to my teacher and go do what I need to do.
You know what? Get it done. Just get it done. I hear you on that way.
This guy.
It's honest. It's honest. I prefer the honesty. My son's the same way. My son's like, you know what? He gets to work. He's quickly get it done. As long as it's done.
You can't get a more straightforward answer than that.
Straight to the point. Straight to the point.
You've been fortunate to win a couple of championships. OFSA pre-COVID, OSBA pre-COVID. Tell us what those championships meant to you.
Well, just being in those type of situations, winning those type of championships is just a great experience, just knowing what winning feels like. And then I'd more so say that the winning felt good, but the times where like I didn't make it to the finals in those playoffs, or the times where I lost and I was just right there, I felt like I learned more off those, because they just showed me what I needed to do. Because then the next season we came back and then we won. No one knew what we needed to do.
Man, that's a great answer. You don't really hear that very often from someone from high school. It's a very good answer that you can actually look at the shortcomings and grow from it. I like that.
Look at you, Chris, trying to suck up. Shut up.
The problem is that Steven hasn't grown up from that. He's still salty.
That was a good comeback. You got me. But don't worry. I have some what is it, skin for men or whatever, to take away all the gray out of your hair, off your beard.
Wisdom.
Bro.
Every stands of wisdom. You haven't got far. You haven't got close enough.
Oh, whatever, bro. Whatever.
No, he didn't.
Just for men. Just for you. Just for men needs to sponsor you, Chris, to take away that wisdom of yours.
Oh, please. I like the wisdom. Don't worry about it. He's mad. You mad because I know a
Whatever.
little more things.
You're like 15 years old. You're 15 years older than me. You should know more than me.
Oh boy.
Oh shoot!
The man trying to call me out on call my age. That's
You
horrible.
might see your Moses.
Right? Right?
Hey,
Okay,
man.
watch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna part something
Hey.
soon.
I said what I said. But
And then you get staff.
Elijah, we gotta ask you though. About a week and a half ago, you did something that's never been done in the OSBA before. You scored 74 points, which included 8 3-pointers. Talk to us about what breaking that record means to you.
Breaking that record, to be honest, doesn't really mean nothing to me. I feel like I have more work to do. I want to break my own record.
Ooh, I like that one. Let's break that Kobe Bryant record. Let's get to 85, or let's break that Wilt Chamberlain one of 100. I'm with that one.
Yes, sir, for sure.
But what was going through your moment? You get to 40, you get to 45, you get to 50, you get to 50, 55, 60, 70. What's going through your moments throughout those times?
Well, just taking the right shots. Don't be forced nothing crazy. Like, it was like 5 minutes left in the fourth. My coach looked at me and said, "You got 50." And he said, I need 60. And I looked at him and said, "Bro, I got you. I'm finna get 70." And then I came and I was just making the right plays, hitting my shots, and just getting open, playing defense, getting steals, dunking the ball. And then I was at 70. And I was like, so let me keep on going.
One thing that a lot of people would say about you, is that you can't shoot, but you proved everybody wrong by scoring 8 threes, and you also pretty much right now are shooting. I think you're shooting about 45% for 3-point range. I could be wrong, but the stats that I saw were about 45%, which is damn good in my mind. Shot better than me. I know Rohan wouldn't want to hear that someone shot. He shoots better than someone else, but I want to ask you though, what does it mean to you when you get in the gym, working on your form, getting your shot right? How important is it for you to shut up those people that think negatively of your shot?
Oh, it's very important because I like proving all my haters wrong. I find that very important. I get in the gym, work on my shot, do what I need to do, and more so just for me, just knowing that I got in the gym, I did what I need to do to help me get on to the next level. So when I get to the next level, I'm ready for times like that where I need to hit my shot, open, catch, and shoot, the one dribble pull up, the hezzy tray ball when I need to.
Mm-hmm. We know you like the heavy tray ball. We know you like that
Yes,
one. Your go-to. Rohan, as a father, what did this moment mean to you to watch your son score 74 and beat the OSBA record?
When I was at the game and I didn't realize he had that much points. I knew he was scoring, but I didn't know he had that much points because everything just seemed, it was in the flow of the game. It wasn't anything that was necessarily forced or rushed. For me, to tell the truth, I just wanted them to win the game. So I didn't really realize when they were probably about, I think it was about 2 minutes left in the game, and they said that, he had about 70. And I'm like, what the crap? And I'm like, wow, like that itself was an accomplishment enough for me. But then he went out for 74. I mean, some people say 75 because they said he missed a free throw, but whatever, 74, 75, it's an accomplishment nonetheless. But the biggest thing for me is the fact that they were able to kind of pull it out. They were down one man because Aiden was injured there, and he picked it up and kind of got a dub.
People don't talk about that. That's actually a good team. So
it is. They have we had a few pieces that were missing from this team here because of COVID. They had 2 bigs that were supposed to be here that would have changed the look of that Crestwood team. They wouldn't have lost the game. I guarantee that. I put everything on that. But just through COVID, things kind of shifted. So we kind of had to just go with the big 3 that we had there, and the big 3 were able to kind of night in, night out, just kind of go out and do their thing. Some days you'll see Ramad is a leading scorer, next day Zayden, and next day Elijah, just kind of kind of an even distribution. And for whoever's hot that day, to feed the hot hands. So I kind of really like the way the 3 of those guys there, they jive. But there's a lot of narrative that folks try to put them against each other when they can play with each other and they shine together. But a lot of folks, when they see it, they try to put, oh, is this person better than that person? That. No, it's not about that, man. It's about working together for a common goal.
Iron sharp irons, like that.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the Elijah Fisher Foundation. Who would like to speak about that? Elijah?
the foundation, it really started. I really sat down. I was like, I need to do something to help out because like I've been going to like soup kitchens and just helping out different families, going around giving around presents. So I was like, I need to do something that's my own that I can say like I created, that I did. So then I sat down with my parents and just told them that we need to do something. And then we all sat down, came up with the Rohan Fisher Foundation, scheduled a date to go do it. And then we really came up with everything. We thought it was gonna be something small, but then ended up being something big within it. And then it helped out a lot of kids, got a lot of presents, gave around to different families that were in need. And I feel proud of myself for doing that.
If you can, NCAA has been knocking. Which has been some of the most intriguing offers that you might have got or looking at?
Well, I'm looking at any school really that's really happy to have me. I don't really care about the name or anything because like the way I view a school is like having a girl. You can have the baddest girl and she doesn't love you off. Well, you can have a subpar girl and she loves you off the most.
Yo, he has some analogies, man. I like this guy. Like, I'm telling you, like, I want to see what you're gonna be. I want to see how you answer questions in 5 years from now. Like, I want to be able to compare.
Listen. We have the next prime minister on our podcast right now.
Oh, God.
We're calling it right now. The next prime minister of Canada.
Oh, man.
And he talks about me. Oh my god! I was like, yo, I like how you represent Canada on the shirt too. So, no, honestly, you have some really solid answers, and you didn't get the. I like your answers, man. Good job, Elijah. Stephen.
One last question that I want to ask you before we get to our quick hitters. Obviously, Chris has pointed out you're wearing your Team Canada t-shirt. I want to know though, what was that moment like for you or both of you guys to be able to represent Canada? Because I know, Rohan, when you spoke to both Chris and myself, you mentioned that you're a big advocate for Canada. You want to help out Canada as much as possible. Anyone doing Canada, you want, whatever is happening in Canada, you want to be able to make sure you can represent any way possible. So this question is more so for both of you. How important was it? How important is it for you, Rohan, to see your son putting on that Team Canada jersey, but also how important is it for you, Elijah, to be able to represent your Canada? To represent your country?
Well, seeing him put on the Team Canada jersey was a blessing. I mean, it's something we hadn't done for, had in mind to do, but really didn't get the opportunity to really jump to and kind of do it. We worked on both sides, and finally him getting to have that experience, I thought it was a very valuable experience for him to go through. So him being away from home and now having mom and dad around to lean on and having to go through the struggles of what he had to go through in terms of it being COVID and the protocols that he had to go through, the kind of food that he had to eat when he was over there in Latvia and all of that. I thought it was good because it was good for him to go through, to develop as a man, to see that A, the world is not fair, and B, hey, sometimes this is what folks eat and this is what it is, and you just gotta go through it and have a thick skin and just kind of be about it and understand you're there on a mission and put a mission first, and whatever you have to go through to kind of get it done, you just got to go through it. So it was a good experience. Sometimes he used to call me and, mom would be like, oh my God, this is what Elijah's eating at it. Mom gets. But for me, I'd be like, yo, bro, just shut up and go through it, man. Just shut up. I don't want to hear it. Just shut the hell up. So he didn't like calling me too much because I'll tell him to shut up and deal with it. But he called mom, and mom would kind of give him that sympathy that he needed. But for me, he wasn't getting no sympathy. It was tough love for me. But I was very proud every time I woke up early morning to see him on TV to play and seeing the stuff that the team they were doing. It made me real proud, man.
And Elijah, how did you feel about wearing the Team Canada colors and wearing that jersey?
Well, wearing the colors, wearing the jersey, it was like almost like a dream come true because I know that some people in my family wanted to do it and weren't able to do it. So I know I was able to represent for them, and then just being on the court just for me, just to show out my talent, skills, and showing that I can hoop and I'm able to play on the different levels instead of just the AAU circuit and regular high school circuit. I'm able to go overseas and just play against different types of talents and just showcase who I am. It felt great for me.
Nice. Quicker to end off the show, the first one's for Rohan, and the next one afterward will be for Elijah. First one I'm gonna ask you, Rohan, is the Fishers are in a game of Family Feud. Which family would you want to go up against?
And family feud, which family member I would want to go up against?
No, which family? The Fishers are in a game of Family Feud. You and your
Oh,
family
family.
are in a game of Family Feud. Steve Harvey gives you guys the call. What family would you want to go up against?
Man, I don't know, man. But choose any family, man. I bet on my family, man. Yeah, you bring any family, man. Anybody want to come, man? Hey, I'm confident with mine, man. You pick anybody, man. It could be your family. It could be man. Don't matter, man. Any family. I'll go with any family. I go up against any family. Man.
Boy, Fishers versus Campbells. I don't know.
Fisher versus Campbell, man, bro. You taking the L, bro. I'm telling you, straight goods, man. We ain't losing nothing.
Oh my gosh! Wait, we start some stuff out here.
I ain't started some stuff. This has been facts, man. It's just factual, man. It's just what it is, man. We ain't afraid.
We'll
go up against somebody. I bet. Man, I got EMI team. He's super competitive and he cheats too, so we good.
Oh man.
We good. We ain't losing nothing. You'll cheat when you don't even know. Yeah, he's slick with it, man. So we good.
It's subliminal. It's natural.
That's natural, man. That's why we don't play Monopoly with him. We don't play cards with him. We don't play, bro.
Next question. Let's talk about family games.
Talk about that.
You're turn against me.
Yo, that's a classic look. Always like that. Your dad, so you look. Last quick header. Which show does a family rally around to watch together?
Power.
Ooh.
Power.
I haven't watched the finale yet, but let's just say that are you guys caught up yet on
caught up on everything?
You're lucky I don't ruin it for you right now.
I was about to say, don't ruin the finale for me. But the last episode, or episode number 9 of season 2, I don't know that scene. There was one scene.
Yes. Is that at the table?
At the table scene.
Yeah.
That was the hottest part of the entire season from what I've seen.
That's the best one. That's the best scene. That was the best scene.
I'm watching her and I'm like,
I know.
The entire time exposing everybody. And I'm just like, no, this is crazy. And I'm a fan of Mary J. Blige too. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, sorry, Mary, you're on your own. You're on your own on that one.
No, but she's a great actress, man. I didn't even know she could act like that. Like, I mean, singing is one thing, but to act like that, man, she's a great actress. Phenomenal.
Fact.
She's holding it on. She's holding it down pretty well. And Method, just
holding it down. She's a natural, man.
Yep. Method doing a great job as well. Shout out Method Man.
Well, Method's been doing his thing, man.
He has been. Shout out the whole Power sequence, man. Shout out the whole Power series. You know, the only one that was kind of a little suspect was Walking Canaan or whatever that one was called. That was a little suspect, but other than that, every other one's been pretty good. But last quick hitter. I know Chris had mentioned that that was last quick hitter, but one last quick hitter we have for you guys, and I'd like to answer from both you guys. Who is someone that you would like to see or hear from on Talk Your Exposure? But the kicker is, you guys got to help us with your answer.
We got to help who?
Whoever your answer is, you have to help us get them on the show.
Oh, shoot. E.
Go, Pops.
No, that's you, bro. That's you, man.
You said both.
Both
I
you guys.
never seen the deferral.
You said
this
both.
This is the first time I saw the deferral between you two.
You're the man in the house. You gotta speak your mind.
Oh, so now I'm the man of the house now. So okay, so
speak your mind.
So you keep your shirt on, right?
Speak your mind.
Okay.
Oh man.
So on. Clarify that for me again. So what am I doing?
Who is someone that you'd like to see on Talk Your Exposure, but you got to help us get your answer on the show?
You know, get Ramada Zaiden on there, man.
Okay.
Yep.
Some Crestwood guys, and some people that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, my family on there. Yeah, those are family, man. Let's get those guys on here, man.
Okay. What about you, Elijah? Who's someone that you'd like to see on Talk Your Exposure?
Same answer, Ramada Zaiden. Okay. Like father, like son. Hey, before we let you guys go, we want to ask you guys if you guys have any shout outs you want to give to anybody out there, you know, your social handles, anything like that. I know you guys have just started up your own AAU program. Shout out to you guys for that one as well. But if you guys want to give any type of shout out or any type of love to anybody whatsoever, you know, now's the time if you guys want to. Any shout outs, Pops?
Yeah, shout out to Canadian ballers, all the young Canadian ballers that are coming out and hooping and, you know, trying to live their dream. and also, all the support system that's around them, that's keeping them grounded and kind of giving them the right direction, and kind of helping them along with their dreams, man. Because I mean, we got to build this thing here together, and we can't have any division amongst ourselves, because I find at times we're so divided and we fight against ourselves, and it makes it so much harder for our young hoopers coming through. So sometimes the kids, the adults, we just gotta do a lot better and kind of keep our emotions, keep ourselves in check, so that the kids can actually shine, because the stage is not for us, the stage is for them. So let's help the young hoopers, and shout out to them that's actually really coming up and doing big things, man.
Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. Somebody you want to shout out?
Shout out my mom. That's what we shout out. Shout out my mom.
Shout out Mama Dukes. Shout out Mama Dukes. Hey, Rohan and Elijah, where can we find you guys on social media?
You can find me at I am Elijah Fisher.
You can find me at 5_Fisher Brothers. That's my IG.
About to give you guys a follow right now.
Yeah, and give Elite 6 Hoops a follow, man.
Elite 6 Hoops. Hey, everyone listening to this, make sure y'all give Elite 6 Hoops a follow. They're coming out. They're coming out going to the 3 stripes. Adidas Gauntlet this year. 3 SSB. A lot of good things coming your way from them as well. So make sure you guys give them a shout out, give them some love, and give them a follow as well. To everyone that's tuned into listening to this episode. One last time, we want to give you guys, we want to thank you guys for jumping onto the show today. We want to remind everybody to tune in to Talk Your Exposure on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and wherever you get your podcast from. As well as if you want to see us, check us out on YouTube. You're more than welcome to under Talker RWI. And you can check out all of our shows over there as well. Make sure you give us a subscription, as well as also turn on your notifications for them as well. One more time, for Rohan and Elijah, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And we hope to see from, wow, let me try that one again. Thank you, Elijah.
Wow.
Straight up, keep it over there.
Let me try that one again.
Honest over here.
Thank you, Rohan and Elijah, again for your time. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to seeing you guys do big things down the line as well, and continue with your big things you guys have already been able to do.
Yes, sir, for sure. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, man. Appreciate you guys.